It is a beautiful day out here in Indiana, and we have a real treat for you today. We're going to take you on a collection tour of the wonderful Cindy Bailey. She is the nicest person, and her collection is phenomenal. You're going to enjoy every minute. Oh, I'm so excited. Okay, you ready? Let's go.
Hello.
Hi,
Welcome.
Cindy.
Come on in.
Thank you. Thank you so much for inviting us to your beautiful home today.
You're welcome. Glad you're here.
We are very excited to be here. This is one of the parts of our convention that we have been most looking forward to, is seeing your collection. Cindy, is this your first time doing it at a virtual convention?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, go girl.
We're the first one.
And thank you so much.
It's just a grouping of little things. I love little dolls and birds. I don't like them in cages, so they never stay in cages. And down below are mostly the Arjan Wright dolls. And then the cats throughout that you see are also theirs. And I got a couple of stiff donkeys. I love donkeys. And then I have foxes in my backyard, so that's why I have a little grouping of foxes. Or any kind of a doll that's dealing with holding a doll or something. I have mostly the Hummels. They have a great collection of those. And then on top, the one sitting down, that's Marie Therese that Alice Liebert did a few years ago, and clothing that I purchased off of eBay, and little other things off of eBay. eBay is my source. And it's just a fun collection. And again, it's anything tiny.
Our next doll case we're going to talk about at Cindy's house is full of some wonderful dolls that I first learned about from Jonathan Green, and a lot of them are Edith Flack Ackley dolls. They are so cool. Cindy has an amazing collection. Come take a look. All right, Cindy.
Hi. I've been collecting for quite a few years, as you can tell, and I have all of Edith Flack Ackley's books. And she started doing dolls to make a living, and then created a total of 5 books. And then there's other smaller ones that she has for please and thank you for kids to understand why it's necessary. And my not most recent one, but this one here I actually bought from Rachel from her shop. And this is one of Jonathan's and Carol Bailey's. I have quite a few of hers too. And then I have little teeny ones over on there. And some of the artwork above are Christmas cards that her daughter actually produced, and then they had to give out to customers and stuff. And then my most prized ones are these two that Agnes Syrah certified was made by Edith Ackley. They're just so tiny. And but the collection is fun. You can see the different faces and different styles that the cloth maker was doing. Some of the eyes most of her eyes are square, but other ones are round. The book gives you a collection of different styles that you can use or make up your own. And then you can. One of the books is how to make up dolls to make. To have a doll shop, how to start a doll shop too. And then the very bottom shelf is a combination of just cloth dolls, different types. And these 3 here are the cutest ones. A member of my doll club, Leslie Wright, she and a few other members are cloth doll makers. And she found one of these in a Goodwill store and came home and created some. And she was selling them for us. So it was cute. It's a sweet doll. But I think cloth dolls are my favorite. I had a cloth doll made from a sock when I was a little girl from my Aunt Thelma. And I still have her. Okay, these are Nancy Ann storybook dolls that I've been collecting for some time. They're made by Miss Nancy Abbott. She was an actress, and she started making outfits for the little dolls from the fabric, from the costuming section of the studio, waiting for the next roles and things like that. And the fashion doll is from Robert Tonner, and that's Miss Abbott. It was from an event he did a couple of years ago for UFDC. It was one of the ticket events. And the ones in front here, this is Judith Ann. She was pretty much the first one that she did, and I'm very happy to have been able to find one to put in the collection. But I like they're just adorable. They have, different kinds of outfits. They cover different periods. It represents different storybooks. Pretty much Nancy Ann's storybooks. That's how it came about. And the company went on until probably the 1960s, and unfortunately she passed away early from cancer. And then my favorite ones are the Belle dolls, the big hats and stuff. And then further down into the case, you'll see them where they're in little play suits. And that's my next one that I just adore. So I got a few of those. And they went from bisque dolls, and in the early part of the 60s, they changed to plastic. And they have two different versions. And one of them had regular pupil eyes, and then later they became just one black dot. And they're known for bouncing around. But they're just adorable, and they're well loved.
Okay, everybody, we are in Cindy's first doll room. This is so cool. When she moved in here, they called it the Playroom. It's still a playroom. You're gonna love everything. And what I love about Cindy's collection is that she has a little bit of everything, but the best part about it is the way that she has it displayed. Everything is playful and fun and whimsical, and every little doll, everywhere you see it, it tells a story. Each one of them is doing something. So as Cindy takes you through her incredible collection, look closely at each one and see if you can see what they're doing, because there's a lot of action happening here. All right, let's go.
Okay. Hi again. This one here is F&B twins, and then the rest of them up here are all F&B dolls. Patsy, Ann, and Patricia, and these two here are F&Bs. If I don't even know their specific names, since it's only marked on the back and the neck as F&B. Then I have little toys from the 50s, and then this collection here on the top shelf. I love tiny dolls, and that's pretty much what's going on in there. And then the one behind or down below, those are Tonner's version of the F&B Wee Patsy doll. And then just other stuff. I decorate it with a lot of dog figurines for some reason. I never even owned a dog. They're all over the place. The next one are dealing with Girl Scouts and Brownies, and dressed up in original outfits. And another one's in the back. These two and this one. These two are reproduction bluettes. That one's an original. And they're in outfits that are reproduced from their patterns. And down below is the combination of some stuffed animals. A couple of them are Stifes. My husband gave me the dog with the blue bow. We had gone to a doll show in Fort Wayne, and he had never really been to one. And he walked in and saw the price. You know how much that dog is? Probably. It's a Stife. He goes, you know how much it costs? I said, yeah, it's a Stife. So it was funny to watch him. Above. Yeah, there's the Oriental dolls. These little cluster of 3 are similar to the dolls I had when I lived in Hawaii. My dad was stationed there. And to find one of those were just, now I have 3 of them in my collection. So great. And then the little boy, that was for twice a year. They have Girl Day and Boy Day, and that was a little samurai boy. And then The one in the blue, she's a reproduction of a Momo doll or Plum doll. And then the little one is by Diana Effner. And then you're going into Tanner's Betsy McCall dolls. And the one that's in the little gingerbread outfit, that's my favorite one of all of them. And then the tall one in the orangey and black check, her name is Patricia by Tanner. And the two in the front are by Diana Effner. And then the two in the back are by Helen Kish. Now this grouping here is Anne of Green Gable. I never knew about this story at all as a kid, and I remember watching it on television, and I decided to go into themes on books that related. And so these are clusters of Anne, all by Alexander, and oddball dolls here and there. The tall one in the blue and white check, that's by F&B. And this tall one here is also by Alexander. I found, and I never read the story until just recently, and she was quite a little spunky girl when she came to them first at the Green Gables, and how she talked, it was just amazing. It's a great book. Highly recommend it. And these little ones, those are F&B Wee Patsies. They were designed to go along with Colleen Moore's Fairy Castle, and she wrote a book that went along it too, with stories about the little dolls and adventures. And then this is divided in two. This section over here is from the Secret Garden. These are Alexander's, and this is Tanner's Patsy doll, dressed up as Mary Lennox. And then on the other side here is McGuffey Anna dolls. All of them are by Alexander, except the one in the blue, and that's Aaronby. And I just found a 14-inch one to go with her. eBay, yay. Now this doll is called Mary Lou from Argentina, and she is their version of the Bluette doll. And she came with an amazing wardrobe and furniture, and the little girls had matching furniture, child size. And I got two of them. There's another one on the bookcase over here. And with the bed set and everything, it's from South Paris, Maine. And these are just salt and pepper shakers that look like the oilcloth dolls from the animals from the 1950s. And this area represents the Mary Frances books that Jane Fryer wrote. And every book that she had was teaching a child to sew and to cook and housework and crocheting and knitting. And the two dolls that are standing, the little one is Marie, the doll that the girl, Mary Frances, was making clothes for. That was what she learned was to sew one summer. This is the Little Women's, from the book Little Women's. All the dolls in here are from Madame Alexander, except for the one in the back, that's by Mattel. And Jo is my favorite character, and so I got all her books all around on the floor, and she has her tea set, and it's just fun. That's how I like to display my dolls, make little scenes. This is my Scottish collection. My background from my dad's mom's side is Scottish. The last name is Askew and Outlaw. And when it's outlaw, it means your clan lost their name because they did something very bad. But David Askew married Millicent Outlaw back in the late 1600s, and here I am. So I've been collecting this for quite some time. Okay, this is a collection of basically the first group are F&B dolls. And first one is Patsy Ann, then Mary Lee. She was only made for a little bit of time. I have my aunt face, Mary Lee, and she has teeth and a tongue and 10 eyes. And the next one is Patsy Dainty. And then for the tall one, the trunk is hers with all the clothes inside. And she comes with shoes and roller skates. And then the next group of the two in yellow, those are Aaron B. Nancy dolls. The first one is all original clothing. And then the last two are from Madame Alexander. The two in the back are Princess Elizabeth. And cannot remember the name of the second one. I didn't know there's a tag there. And these are Betsy McCall dolls. The three in the back are the original Betsy's, and they came out around 1952. And the middle one is original dress on. I have quite a few original dresses down below. The one with the pink with the characters from the Lady and the Tramp. My mom made me that outfit for my first day of kindergarten. And a few years back I reproduced it. And the small one is the Tiny Betsy. And then the taller one in the pink check is also Betsy. She's 14-inch. Those are done by American Character Dolls. The other three were done by Ideal. And then down below you have Tiny Betsy again, and then there's a cloth Betsy McCall made from the pattern, and then figurines that were produced, and then you have another Ideal Tony. Not Tony, excuse me, Betsy McCall. Now this group is the Hitty doll, and I've tried to collect things that related to her story and all her adventures. And I have the ship her father had, or the daughter's father had, that she would go out, and she had many adventures. That's for sure.
And you know we love a great stash. Here's Cindy's. Isn't that just beautifully organized? I love it. This is your craft closet.
Yes, it is.
Cindy's craft closet.
Okay, this is more of my collection. The first doll in the green and off-white is Rosette, original. And she has her dog. And then the bed, which I love. There's a lady that sells them at the Toledo doll shows. And they're old beds, and then she's made all the linen for them, from the pillows all the way down to the sheets. And the one in the pink is wearing a dress that's found on eBay by the many wonderful seamstresses. And she's called Cherie. She's just a reproduction. And then now you have Marcella. She's from the Raggedy Ann story. And she was a doll that was going to be reproduced, but did not get to it. And there was only like about 150 of them made. So I'm very happy recently I found her. And then we have Raggedy Ann paper dolls. Paper dolls are also another big love of mine. The next two dolls, those are called flapper dolls because of the way their legs are tiny and they normally have high heels. And the second one, the doll is in the box, that was done by Hansen and has a complete wardrobe as usual with her dolls. And a little hedgehog doll there. The stuffed animal is made by Cindy McGuire. She did a wonderful job. The next grouping is dolls of color. And the tall one in the white, that's made by Gable Wilson. No idea where the furniture set was made from, but it's adorable. Then this bed was made for the 2018 regional conference in Region 12. It was up in Michigan, and the doll was made by Helen Kish, and it was Once Upon a Time, and this was the event doll by Helen Kish, and the bed was made by Michael Ellis. He worked with Ford Motors to get permission to use their laser to create these beds, and they are absolutely amazing. And they even have a special box, what fits perfect inside. This little shelf has the original silhouette and a pretty little outfit, and her bed. This next group are all reproduction bluettes. The next little scene is more reproduction bluettes. The yellow and green furniture is from Cracker Barrel, and it was quite a hit with us, and they were sold out. Blue-white people, when they find something, just gotta have it. This next one is a tiny Daisy doll. It was never produced at all. The original one is 18 inches tall, but they decided that would be a nice companion to a bluette. And she's made from the Kestner mold. And the same here. Just books and datas and patterns and things that go with her. This next group is F&B Patsy in her trunk, and her shoes and roller skates. And other than for their little crib, the rest of that furniture is the South Paris, Maine, where they were made at. This group is reproduction dolls called Cherie, dressed in their bride dresses. And this group are all original Bluettes. And pretty dresses.
I am having the absolute best time at Cindy's house. I am learning so much and seeing some incredible examples of all of the wonderful things that she loves. This wall, I'm calling her wall of everything because there is a little bit of everything in here. And what I love about this is it goes to show that you can collect a little bit of everything and it can all look so beautiful together. So Cindy's gonna come in and share some of her favorite things from her wall of everything.
Hi again. The top shelf is all my sewing things that I collect. The 3 dolls here are by Tonner. Anna Stell's the top one, Betsy McCall, and Sophie. And Sophie's always my favorite doll of his collections. But it's just fun. It's mostly fun going out and finding the tins and then opening them up and finding all the sewing items that were left from somebody else and that I can cherish with going forward. And there's different events at UFDC where the dolls in the red skirts, sewing dolls, were events. Either the souvenir or it was a table favor that I found later on eBay. My favorite place. Besides Ruby Lane. It's come along. And these are more cloth dolls. The little teeny one was made by Cynthia DeHoff for one of our luncheons on cloth dolls that Linda Edward was the guest speaker. And just little tiny dolls are my favorites. I have kids' books, toys. Those little animals sitting on the wood blocks are actually erasers, I thought. And in the top one is a vintage from somewhere. It was attached to a doll I got on eBay. I have no idea where it came from. And these are baby dolls. They are my second favorites. And the 3 here are the reproductions of a doll Bambino, which was Bluette's brother. Normally it's 14 inches. And the other ones are toys, baby dolls, cribs, bassinets. This represents more sewing things. Dolls, tiny dolls. These are from England. They're basically made of metal. I use a lot of items from Hallmark Christmas ornaments that work great in size to the dolls. This is another Bambino. And then the doll in the blue with the Scotty pen, and the one that's in blue also here. Those are reproductions that came out a few years back for Rosette, who is the sister to Bloette. And more little tiny things. And then the one in the red plaid is a SFBJ doll that I bought years ago from David and Michael at a Rose Percy event too. But I think adding little things to your collection, it helps make it fun, childlike too. That's what I like about it. And this one is a collection of some more sewing items, books, children's books, penny nickels. It came out we got, on the same time about Nancy Drew. It was on the same idea of mysteries and finding the solution to the crime. These dolls here are by Lewis Amber Company. They're called Elowen, the little girls. And the boy sitting here, he's Ambi, and this is Teeny Weeny. And the stoves are from the 30s. And the bigger one can actually work. Doesn't work, but I wouldn't plug it in. But it was electric. And this is just more eclectic of my collection. Baby dolls, cloth dolls, figurines, a child's, more of a baby's set of comb and brush and mirror. I like figurines that's dealing with dolls. And this one is more children's books and child sewing machines and another baby doll. It's not marked. And there's more baby dolls. The two over here, those are $1 Million Baby Dolls, or Bilo babies by Grace Putman. They're twins. And the other two are A&M. And this one and one in the back, those are by F&B, Patsy Baby, and then the two little ones are Patsy Babyettes. Oh, and this one is a Nippon baby doll. And this doll here was made by Carol Noel from Ohio. She entered it into a contest at UFDC at the 2016 convention, I think it was. And on the diversity of UFDC was a theme, and she won Blue Ribbon and President's Choice. At this doll here at the school desk, that's another Mary Lou from Argentina. And the desk was part of her collection of furniture. It even has her name written down here in metal. And it came with a couple pencils and booklets. And it's just adorable. And this doll is by Hansen. And the carriage is by Boyd Vickers from a long time ago. And this is part of my library area with all my different books and dolls. The bottom ones are more Nancy Ann storybook dolls that were given to me by my friend Marcy before she passed away. These dolls coming up are the English Cottage toy dolls. They're very unique. Their problem with them is their necks always were too weak and they kind of fold over. But sometimes they cause a very cute expression for the dolls. And here's my Scotty Dog collections. The bottom shelves, more books and just fun things, knickknacks. And these are the penny wooden dolls. More books. Pinocchio collection. More dolls and books.
When I told Robert Tonner that we were coming to film in Indiana with Cindy Bailey, he said, quote, "Her house and collection is amazing." And yes, it is. But Cindy and Robert, they've done a lot of collaborations together. And Cindy has an incredible collection of all kinds of Robert Tonner dolls. She has even received awards from Robert himself at events because of the wonderful things that she does. So Cindy's going to tell us all about these wonderful dolls, and there's so many I have never seen before. I am so excited. Cindy, this is wonderful.
Well, we go up the top. The 3 dolls there. The 2 tall ones are his reproduction of the Tony doll, and the one in the white nightgown was from an event that unfortunately I couldn't attend, but I was able to get one later. And then the other one was dressed. It was a dress me doll, and so I found the little nightgown. And then the tiny one is Marnie, a crippled bush doll. One of my favorites of his collection. Mostly because she has brown eyes and brown hair. Okay, the next shelf is Sophie. And there's one and Estelle. These are characters that were from Mary Eaglebright's drawings, and as you can tell, I really like Sophie. And then Georgie is there, one of them. And they're all dressed for Christmas. And Estelle in the red dress. No, excuse me, Sophie in the red dress. The way in the back you can find Aunt Estelle. She's dressed as a Christmas tree. But again, I think a lot of collecting, you need to add little things to it. Sometimes we get a little too much, but it's still fun and helps make the grouping work. And this is all fall, my favorite season. And the outfits made from many eBay sellers. And the one thing you'll see a lot through my collection are teacups and teapots. But at the 2004 convention, the outfit I did not make was made by Pam Johnson. She won Blue Ribbon and Robert's Choice. And here's Sophie dressed up in her little Scotty outfit. Many different outfits. And as you pan, you'll go into Aunt Estelle and her outfits. Well, you can't see it very well. Her bedroom set and sideboard is there. Table and chairs. The next shelf is a combination of different Mary Eaglebright's dolls that Tonner produced. And then Marnie, who is the Cripple Boots doll. The bottom shelf are Tanner's version of Patsy, F&B's Patsy doll. And the little ones, again, are the Cripple Bush dolls. This one is by Madame Alexander. It's a sissy doll. It's a reproduction of a ad that Yearly had with the dolls. She's complete to the picture too, with the chair and the cushions and the bracelet. And these are some of my little dolls that are made either by Carl Armstrong or other artists. The tall doll is by Gautier, and she's probably from the 1870s. She's all original, except for her undies, but they're made from vintage flime. The snooze and the Bible, those are new. And these are all reproductions, the little ones, made by Carl Armstrong again. And more tiny dolls. Favorite. The tall doll is F&B's Mary Lee. The smaller one is F&B Patsy Jr. And the baby doll is Aaron B. Tommy Tucker. Those dolls, the two little ones were my mom's, and the tall one was her sister Faith. And when my mom passed away, she told me that she had this Mary Lee doll and the small trunk that's going to be scanning over to later, all the clothes in it my mom made. The brown trunk has clothes in it that are factory made, and means a lot. The little China doll that's sitting in a straw tote was my grandmother's, my mom's mom. And the rest of them were mom's toys. The chest, and on top of the stack of the trunks is a desk. That was hers too. Now, when I was a little girl growing up in Hawaii, I was a bluebird, part of the campfire group, and I've been able to collect a few things that I didn't have as a kid. I still have my original pen and patch. Now, the swing bike, that's a gift from the original owner of this house. When we came into the house to look at it, to purchase it, it was sitting on one of the shelves in this room. And when I walked in, I'm like, it's a sign! And we got the house. The doll that's in the egg, that doll was made by Bob Severns and all the clothes. And the other ones are Lizette, the tiny ones with the carpet bag. It was made for an event at UFDC. These are my childhood dolls. The little teddy bear and the pink rabbit and the hand puppet. Those were my brother's. The rest of them were my childhood dolls, except for the little one sitting in the chair. And my mom had that made for me because I was complaining about dolls are always blue eyes, blondes. So she's got brown eyes. And these are the Tony dolls. And these 3 dolls represent the Annabelle doll from Tasha Tudor's book.
One of the absolute treasures of Cindy's collection is her beautiful Hure. This Hure has a trousseau, wonderful clothing, little accessories. Come on in and see. You're just going to love this beautiful doll and the way she's displayed.
I purchased her at the UFDC convention in Orlando. I was in the shopping area, and I kept seeing the plaid dress, and I walked around, looked at her, and walked away, and walked around, walked away, came back and forth. I mean, it was just, finally I said, how much? And I bought it from Valerie Vogel, and she's just a dream. And she wrote an article about her in the Doll News a few years ago. It was a great article. She knows so much history on these French fashion dolls. Now these dolls up here are all reproductions, but they are so pretty. And this is a new one I purchased from Valerie, it's a Jameau portrait. And she came with those beautiful gloves, green gloves to match her outfit. And the bed is another one that I purchased with all the bedding made. And then the last virtual convention, I purchased this little carpet bag It's down by the bed, and the rolled up blanket that you would use if you were going out for a ride. This is more beautiful bedding if you want to purchase it. This doll is called a covered wagon china, and it was one of the items that were up for auction at each table, and I was lucky enough to get it. It was made in my honor.
One of my bucket list dolls that I'm still on the hunt for to add to my collection is an Izana Walker doll. I have always loved them so much, and Cindy has one in her collection. Cindy, tell us about this gorgeous, gorgeous girl.
She's about 18 inches tall. I bought her a few years ago at one of the UFDC conventions, and I had the photo, or the picture, and I found an outfit that matched it basically, and so I changed her from, it wasn't an original outfit that she came in. And I have a bonnet for her, and then collecting all the little things that go with her. Or for her, I shouldn't know, with her. And in some cases, too many of them. But that's how we collect. And the dolls that are sitting on the chair coming up are done by Gail Wilson. That's her version of Izana Walker's boy and girl doll. This grouping of nurse dolls was from the last Rose Percy convention, and it was one of the centerpieces. I was able to win it, because I do collect nurse dolls. Now the three dolls with the bonnets, those are Abigail Dolls, and they're made in Nashville, Tennessee, or Indiana, excuse me. Still being made. These dolls are from the 1950s. And I have the original book that was written as a story for them. Now this is part of my Muffy collection. I had Muffy as a child, and I lost count. I have no idea how many of them I have. On this shelf, I had been looking for years, was her bedroom set. So the bed, chest, and a wardrobe. Now this is part of my sewing stuff, books. Muffy doll is a tall one with a matching outfit for the Nancy Ann storybook doll. Boy doll is nude. And then Tonner's Betsy McCall dressed up as a fashion designer and a sewer. This is my nurse collection. My first one really started with the tall one. I won that at a Rose Percy convention that was in Michigan. And it was on an auction. Then I have other dolls that are dressed nurse outfits that are Ideal Tony, Bluette, Tiny Betsy, Muffy doll, Vogue doll, Miss Unity, and then in the tall one, not the very tall one in the back, but right straight behind, with the cap on. That was from a special event that Robert Tonner did in Kingston, New York for the hospital, and that's Miss Nancy. And that little doll in the box, that's also by Carl Armstrong. Mighty Darling Lane and Mighty Darling Lane. And here's more of my Muffy collection. There's a total of 5 shelves. More Muffies. And this one Muffy here in the green. I found her on eBay, and it's not a dress that was made by Nancy Ann Storybooks. It was either a prom dress or a bridesmaid dress, and it's actually sewn onto her. And it's just so cute. And now you're coming into my childhood Muffy dolls. The bed, bunk bed, and the dress were given to me as Christmas gifts. My mom made all of the bedding, the blankets, the sheets, pillowcases, everything. And this is my childhood Muffy. Whenever my mom made me a new outfit, she always made an outfit for my Muffy doll. And I have all of them, along with the outfits my grandmother, her mom, made for me. And for the doll. Down here are more sewing items coming up, but the dolls are Ruth Gibbs. They're China dolls. And Mr. Fox popping out from underneath.
One of the dolls that I think is just the most fun is Bluette. And I think a lot of you will agree with me on that. If you've never met Bluette, you are going to love a lot of the examples that Cindy has. We've already seen some of them, but this is a little Bluette fiesta, and she's going to come in and share with you a little bit about some of their stories and what they're up to.
Hi everyone. As you can see, I have a lot of going on in my little doll collection of Bluettes. Anything you can find, like this is a toothbrush holder. Looks, the sink goes with the bathtub. The shelving behind there and also in the kitchen was a Christmas package that you could buy at Walmart. It had either candles on it or soaps and stuff like that. And of course, I had to have each one. They're a little different style. And this is my very first Bluette, Marcette. She's from 1920. She was a transition doll where they were going from set eyes to sleepy eyes. So she has eyelashes both above and below. And when you use your imagination for different types of things with your dolls, this here looks like a desk, but if you flip it over, it's actually a pencil holder. And the shelving in the lines in the middle are where you can put papers and notes and things like that. A lot of ornaments from Hallmark. Now this is my doll sewing room. You can make a lot of little tiny things. In the past, a lot of unique things that you can use are from Barbies, but they're not really doing that any longer. These are more original Bluettes. The furniture here is furniture that was designed and it was in the magazine for Bluette. And there was a company that was making them a few years ago. And these are, including the decals, are perfect to the book. And these are more Oh, that's the first doll he had was a reproduction of the Daisy doll. And these are more reproduction bluettes. Beautiful clothing from eBay. More book collection. It's just a little scene of the reproduction bluette. 2 of them. And toys. And here's where they're having an outside party. Way in the back in a blue dress or coat is an original bluette. With a paper mache. And this is the dining room area, basically. This one here is original bluette. The 2 chairs actually came from Joanne Fabrics, and they were photo holders. That works perfect with bluette. And a kitchen scene of a lot of things. The stove my brother gave to me many years ago for Christmas. And this is a reproduction Becca scene. And 2 dolls in a chair, those are reproductions of the Izana Walker doll on a smaller scale. And these are Kessner dolls. More Izana Walker dolls, reproductions. And here the dolls are either Kessner's 301 SFBJ with a great coloring.
Well, this, Cindy, was one of my favorite parts of this entire event.
Good.
We had a blast.
We did. This was a lot of fun.
Did you enjoy sharing everything?
Yes, I do. I mean, I do with my doll club. It's nice to be able to share with everybody else, too.
With the world.
Yeah. Really.
The world is seeing this. Thank you so much for having us here.
You're welcome.
This was
Glad to
such
have you both here. It's been a lot of fun.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you. Cindy Bailey in Indiana. You support a lot of organizations, and you're very active in the doll community, and I want to thank you for just all the things that you do for everybody.
Well, I have a little gift for you, too.
You have a gift for me?
Yes, I do.
Uh-oh.
It's for you and
oh
your
my
Dream at
goodness.
Night of Stars.
Oh my goodness. Look at this. This is so perfect for our theme.
Yeah.
I
Feathers.
love this. Creative co-op. Oh my goodness. So somebody made this.
Mm-hmm.
Look at her little slippers. and her star. I'm going to put this on my bed, Cindy. This is so perfect. I will be, you know what I'll be doing? Dreaming of your collection.
Okay. You can do that.
This is so sweet.
You're welcome.
Cindy is so generous. Eric needed a belt, and she gave him a belt from her closet. So that's the kind of lady Cindy Bailey is. So this is wonderful. Cindy, thank you so much.
Thank you. You're welcome.
All
Glad
right.
you guys were here. I appreciate it.
We had a blast.
Yep.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.